The enemy's public, I gotta keep my eyes open. Pay attention, stop walking around like you blindfolded. This not the World Cup, but Nasir be kicking knowledge. This the type of information you can never learn in college. It's time to fight back, it's no more trying to play it cool. We got interviews, podcasts, and got the latest news. So sit back and relax, we about to get it started. Earth is a canvas, and guess who's the con artist? They brainwashing us, the system corrupted. You are now rocking with the enemy's public. You are now rocking with the enemy's public. I said you are now rocking with the enemy's public. Hey.
A once goal-driven, ambitious Sapphire turns to the street life after the sudden death of her big brother Dre. Dre's best friend Devontae tries to honor his homeboy's last request of looking out for his baby sister. A rebellious Sapphire makes it very difficult for Devontae to carry out his promise. Author Angela King James presents Fire. Get it on Amazon, on paperback, or Kindle. This is The Enemy's Public. I am Bro.Nasir. In this age of technology, knowledge, information at our fingertips. It takes us seconds to do research sometimes. Sometimes we only take a second to do research and think we got it. With all we have today, why do we do so much less with more? Why do we have so many know-it-alls? It's a case of the know-it-alls against the do-it-alls. We have so much information, and it's as if those who didn't have the information, speaking about our brothers and our sisters in the past, they did so much to gather our people, galvanize our people, organize our people with so much less. Now, I don't necessarily agree with the methodologies, all of them, but I agree with them being able to get our people together. I agree with that, being able to do it. Like I always say, it's what we do when we get together that is the problem. Sometimes, not all the time, sometimes. Yet our elders should be given credit for being able to come together for a common cause. Now, I'm going to play some clips of examples of being able to gather our people together. Without all the technology that we have today, see, some of our brothers and sisters, with all the knowledge that we have, I question their motives. I think some of our brothers and sisters get the information that they have in order to be able to intellectually spar with other brothers and sisters, but they don't go no further than that. And we need to go further than being able to intellectually spar, debate each other. Because if we have people out here that's telling outright lies, those are the ones we should be debating. Some of these brothers and sisters are ready to go with the information they have given on these platforms. They are ready to go into like Yale and Harvard and debate the liars. regardless of what degree madness that they have in these so-called institutions of learning, some of these brothers and sisters can go and mop the floor with those who are in Yale, Harvard, Princeton, with basic truth. Basic truth. Yet, we need to change our focal point from arguing with each other to arguing with those that really count. Because you and I coming with the same truth is pointless when we can go into those who lie on a daily basis or lie for a damn living. We can go and debate them. Now, I asked the question, why do we do so much less with more? Meaning the information that we have. We have more information today than our brothers and sisters had back then. And we do so much less with what we have than what they did back then. And we can't hold them accountable because they didn't know what we know. And a lot of us like to hold them accountable for what they don't know. You are held accountable for what you do know, not what you don't know. So a lot of our brothers and sisters were at error by not knowing. Peace to my brother, the realist McCoy. Peace to my brother, Keith West. Peace to Lee Butts. Peace to Warfare K. Thank you all for coming through, family. Everybody on here is family. Peace to Stephanie Burke. Thank you all for coming up. Now, again, we need to learn how to eat like we're not eating baby food. Okay, when the food start hardening up, we need to learn how to eat different. Okay, this is not the strained peas and the applesauce and the food that our mother chopped up for us when we're babies. When you get bigger, your mother may give you a peach. She may give you a nectarine or orange. Okay? So that means you need, by that time, to know how to eat the fruit and spit out the pit or the seed. We shouldn't be so narrow-minded that we not get the message and we're focusing on the wrong thing. Now, I'm going to play some examples of us being able to organize. Just organizing our people to come together in one place to do a certain thing on a common cause. Not saying that that don't happen today. The question is, why do we do so much less with more? That's the question. Now, I'm going to give a few examples of what we were able to do with so much less. Some of these are anniversaries of what
a national outcry. Bloody Sunday is beamed across the nation and across the world as the forces in Alabama are trying to turn back the idea that Black people wanted to participate in the political process.
I don't know how it got to this video, but this is not the video that I wanted to play. Let me see if I can go back to pardon the technical difficulty, but I'm going to go to my playlist. This is not what I wanted to play.
Instead of moving forward, it feels as if we're moving backward. The question is, what are we going to do? Dad would probably say, now is the time. We must preserve, protect, and expand democracy. We must ensure that voting rights is protected for all people. We must ensure that our women and children are treated fairly. We must end gun violence.
We are not here for commemoration. We are here for rededication to the fight for a future where at long last America's practice will be as good as its promise. And let me say to the women, we weren't able to speak in 1963, but we are here in 2023.
They will not be able to turn back the clock. They want to stop Blacks from voting. We're going to vote anyhow. No matter how hard you make it, we coming anyhow. They're going to try to put women back in the kitchen with an apron. We're not going back in the kitchen. We're not putting the apron back on. They're trying to tell gays, get back in the closet. We're not going back in the closet. We're going to lock the closet.
Like I said, eat the fruit and spit out the pit. Some of what they're saying is indeed the pits.
We're going to stand up for who we are and where we are and what we are. Our fathers fought for this, and we're going to maintain it. 60 years ago, Martin Luther King talked about a dream. 60 years later, we're the dreamers. The dreamers are in Washington, D.C. The schemers are being booked.
It comes a time that you need to wake up and stop dreaming. You know, whether you are daydreaming or whether you are sleeping at night and dreaming, it comes a time when you should wake up. Now, it's a deep Rick Van Winkle slumber when you're dreaming that damn long. You have to wake up, Mr. Sharpton, and stop dreaming. Some things you have to do not being in your subconscious mind and not with your eyes closed. Open your eyes and stop telling people that we should constantly dream.
Booked in Atlanta, Georgia, in the Fulton County Jail. The dreamers will win. The dreamers will march. The dreamers will stand up. Black, white, Jewish, LGBTQ. We are the dreamers. We're the children of the dream. Let us march in the name of the dreamers.
Again, I'm just showing examples of our people being
A sea of people from across the nation at the monument to President Lincoln.
just showing examples of our people being able to bring our people together. It seems as if we can't bring our people together with having more. I know it's some of us that come together, but yet it's what we do when we come together that is the problem. Some of our people, we're not going to come together because all we want to do is see social media, in particular this platform, it gives those who never had a voice. And some of our people just want to be heard, have nothing pertinent to say, but want to be heard. And we want to spew out things that resonate with us without understanding what it is. And before we open our mouth and pass on information, we should understand the information that we're passing on, because if somebody asks you to understand, the second you become frustrated, ill-mannered, that means you don't understand. So you can't give an explanation of what you're saying. That's why you become frustrated and ill-mannered. So before we pass off information, we should understand it ourselves.
To take in a call to action.
Let's not give up. Let's not give in. Let's not give out.
This gathering, the 60th anniversary of the original March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. delivering his dream of peace, justice, and equality, demanding civil rights for all.
That's a good gesture, yet if we don't have that for ourselves first, we can't give it out. If we don't have peace, we don't have, equality, we don't have freedom, we cannot be any good for anyone without all of those things: freedom, justice, equality. We cannot do anything for anybody. And charity begins at home, then it spreads abroad. Self-preservation is not me getting for me, myself. Of course, myself first, but the second I get something, I have to have in my mind to figure out what can I do to help my people. Yet until after we are together and we are thriving in totality as a people, we shouldn't even have in our mind to be going outside trying to do for other people.
Go down in history as the greatest demonstration for freedom in the history of our nation.
Organizers of today's event embracing Dr. King's charge and adding a new generation of issues, the fight to stop violence against minority groups.
We cannot allow the dark forces of extremism, intolerance, and hate to corrupt us and make us cynical.
The fight for voting rights.
It's really important for us to mobilize and understand the importance of the moment and also come together in solidarity for action.
Sally Levin of Maryland was here in 1963.
I'm about to turn 81, and I don't think things have changed the way they should have. And I need to help make that change.
Change Dr. King's 15-year-old granddaughter believes her generation can lead.
My generation will be defined by action, not apathy.
The day ending with this march to the MLK Memorial, literal forward movement carrying this renewed energy into the future. Jose, back to you.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News.
Now we're going to go to
Washington's National Mall, the focal point of protests and marches.
We're going to go to more recent times when we were able to bring our people together on one accord. We were always able to bring our people together. Yet it's what we do when we come together. Sometimes it's the problem. Sometimes we have solutions, and we have to be steadfast in enacting our solutions. Well, once we come with a solution, we have to enact it. We have to, be steadfast on the instructions that we receive. Yet if we don't carry out the instructions that we receive, it's not the person who's given the instructions' fault. It's not. Because once you receive those instructions and you don't carry them out, it's nobody's fault but yours. It's like blaming the condition you're in on somebody else. Nobody could mess up your life more than you could yourself.
Since the 19th century, saw many during the 90s. 750,000 demonstrators at the 1992 March for Women's Lives. And in 1993, nearly 1 million people marching for gay rights. But no 90s march attracted more attention than the Million Man March in 1995.
Everybody wondered what that would be like. 1 million men, African American men, on the mall.
I'm here for the unity part of it, and I'm here because I'm a responsible Black man.
It was organized by Minister Louis Farrakhan, who, as you know, was a very controversial figure at the time.
The minister wanted to talk to 1 million men, to talk to them about responsibility, accountability, family, holding their head up.
I convinced a few of my friends to go just to see what it would be like. Let's just drop this hard shell you built up and let's just be with each other, enjoy each other's company, meet other Black men.
I remember that incredible feeling of brotherhood, and I never seen so many people in my life. I remember leaving there feeling like this is the start of something different.
People were so fearful that African-American men were going to flood the nation's capital. Those kinds of attitudes somewhat overshadowed what in fact was a remarkable, peaceful, family-oriented march.
But still, there was controversy.
The debate was about numbers. Were there really 1 million? That was so unfortunate because that was not the point.
I think the Park Service suggested it was around 400,000, but it doesn't matter. It was a huge march. I was there, and what I saw were people saying, "We matter."
For more clips and to watch the full program, visit weta.org/decades.
Another example of us being able to come together on the same accord with the same goal was the Bristol bus boycott against discriminatory.
Hello and welcome to History Pod. On the 30th of April 1963, a boycott against the Bristol Omnibus Company in England was launched due to their racist employment policy. Around 3,000 people of West Indian origin lived in the city of Bristol in 1963, predominantly around the St. Paul's area. There was not yet any legislation in Britain against discriminating on racial grounds, so it was common in both.
Wrong video. I thought that was the Montgomery bus boycott.
Hello and welcome to History Pod. On the 25th of March 1965, the 5-day Selma to Montgomery March ended at the steps of the Alabama state capitol. Although,
can you imagine marching from Selma to Montgomery? I know the realist McCoy is in Montgomery. If you could come up and tell us how many miles that is, brother, it would be greatly appreciated. Selma to Montgomery March. It ends at the Alabama State Capitol, which is tiring on the feet and can wear out some damn shoes.
Though the Civil Rights Act of 1964 had ended legal segregation, many southern states continued to use techniques to suppress black voter registration. In Alabama's Dallas County, where Selma was the county seat, the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee led a voter registration campaign that faced increasingly violent resistance from local law enforcement under County Sheriff Jim Clark. On the 18th of February 1965, African-American demonstrator Jimmy Lee Jackson was fatally shot by a state trooper after a civil rights march. This prompted activists to organize a march from Selma to Montgomery, the state capital. Approximately 600 marchers departed Selma on the morning of Sunday the 7th of March. However, at the Edmund Pattus Bridge, they found a large group of state troopers, local police, and other county members who launched a ferocious attack that became known.
Wow, 54 miles? They marched that long, 54 miles from Selma to Montgomery. Thanks for the information, brother, the realist McCoy, but I don't even know if some of our people will march 4 miles today. I don't know.
Known as Bloody Sunday. 2 days later, on Turnaround Tuesday, the number of marchers had grown to around 2,500 people. To avoid breaking a temporary restraining order against further demonstrations, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. stopped the demonstration at the bridge before turning back to Selma. Nevertheless, that evening, a young white minister who joined with the marchers was beaten and later died. On the 15th of March, President Johnson pledged his support for the protesters and called for voting rights legislation to be passed by the government. 6 days later, the third and final march departed Selma, protected by U.S. Army troops and federalized Alabama National Guardsmen. They arrived in Montgomery on the 25th of March, where King made his "How long, not long" speech.
Now, this is without any type of social media. This is all out, old-fashioned grassroots. Word of mouth, probably telephone the most. If it had any media coverage, they probably had media coverage on the TV, but it wasn't like it is today. You know, I'm able today watch channels in Chicago and all over the United States. I can watch channels from all over. Wasn't like that in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and not even the 90s. It wasn't even like that. But today, we have all the information at our fingertips, and they were able to do with a lot less. They were able to do a lot more.
To a crowd of more than 25,000 people. The Voting Rights Act of 1965 was finally passed by Congress a few months later, in August.
Now, technology, as the brother Keith West stated, changed our way of thinking, and it also changed our work ethic. We don't work as hard as we do, and we don't come together as much as we should today. because of social media.
Dr. King, how are things shaping up now for tomorrow? Things are shaping up beautifully.
Salute, peace to my brother, Realize. Haven't spoken to you in a while. How you doing, good brother?
Peace, my good brother Nasir. How you doing, brother? Mike, check. Can you hear me?
We have people coming in from all over the country. I suspect that we will have representatives from almost every state in the union, and naturally a large number of people from the state of Alabama. And we hope to see, and we plan to see, the greatest witness for freedom ever taken place, that has ever taken place on the steps of the capital of any state in the South. And this whole march adds drama to this total strike. Last Sunday, more than 8,000 of us started on a mighty walk from Selma, Alabama. They told us we wouldn't get here.
We should be able to do a lot more with what we have today in technology. We should be able to do a lot more as far as coming together. We shouldn't discuss our strategies. A lot of us are reckless enough to discuss our strategies. Yet, as far as, I'm not speaking about coming together on a social media platform, but the how we could contact each other, we should be able to organize a lot better.
Brother Nasir, can you hear me? Mike, check.
I can hear you, brother.
Okay. I'm just making sure. Good to talk to you again, brother. I appreciate you. I'm
Yes,
here and
sir.
I'm well.
Indeed, brother. I appreciate you too. I haven't talked to you in a while, brother. Good to hear from you. We should be able to organize a lot better because they were able to do what they did all the way up
Without
to
the internet.
all the way up to 1995 at the Million Man March. How that was brought forth was the minister just traveling from city to city to city to city and telling the brothers to come, and they came. Yet we are able to, you know what I'm saying? We're able to speak to each other and say, okay, let's meet here. We're able to do that in seconds. Now we have platforms like a Zoom that you can get so many people on at the same time. All you have to do is have several meetings and just tell the brothers and sisters to come. And brothers can actually and sisters can actually meet at a common place.
Well,
But
that's a
this,
fact, man.
you know what
Just
I'm saying?
get out in your neighborhood. Just get out in your neighborhood and talk to people. They gonna show up. You know what I'm saying? If they fucking with your energy and they fucking with your message, yeah, they definitely gonna show up. All you gotta do is just get out there and speak, open your mouth.
Exactly. You know, I'm just showing examples. I don't necessarily, agree with the marching and singing, when you got an enemy out here that's attacking you. I don't agree with that. I mean,
I ain't going there.
I'm just showing
And I
examples.
agree with Big Dog Philly OG. He won the debate in my eyes because we need to detach from this damn system. So, with that being said, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut your wisdom or nothing, but yes, we definitely need to get away from all of this shit and start anew and start by ourselves.
Exactly. I mean, the question is, why do we do so much less with more? We have a lot more and we do less with more. And a lot of us have the nerve to get on platforms and speak bad about these brothers and sisters who did less. I mean, who did more with a lot less than what we have. They did a lot more. I don't necessarily, agree with a lot of the methodologies. Yet they were able to do a lot more with less. And what we have as information, not necessarily being able to come together, we do a lot less with the information we have. A lot less. We claim to have all the answers and all the solutions. A solution is invalid unless it's being used, carried out. Other than that, you should have kept it to your damn self. If we're not going to carry nothing out, we all know what we should be doing, but do we do it?
That's a fact, brother. I agree.
Do we do it? I don't claim to have not even half the answers, not even a quarter of the answers, but I know I've heard brothers and sisters speak and said things that I didn't say that resonated with me. That's what you will call building. I'm taking that brother's information, that's
Absolutely.
information, and I'm applying it to myself, and I'm just gathering information. And it's different information. I use the analogy of a cookout. Can you imagine if everybody brought the same thing to a cookout? If everybody brought potato salad, right there, it's going to be a messed up cookout. We got to bring different things.
Terrible. That shit would be horrible.
You had to bring different things to the table. So therefore, with
somebody got to bring the music. Somebody got to, bring different foods. You know what I'm saying? Somebody got to bring the energy. That crazy uncle, that crazy auntie that get the party started. Like we all got to bring different elements of life. That's a fact.
If Keith West brings some macaroni salad, if Brother Bronze Flat Power God brought something, Warfare K brought something, Big Dog Fulio G, he brought some corn, and the realest McCoy brought some vegetables, somebody brought something to drink. We got the cookout going. Well, if everybody brought the same thing to the table,
well, that wouldn't be a cookout. That ain't the same thing. Hey, you know what that is? Hold on. You know what's crazy? It's because we don't have cookouts. When we do our barbecues and shit, you know what I'm saying? It's a gathering. It's a get together. It ain't just you know what I'm saying? Like other people do that type of shit.
Yeah,
when we get together, it's a whole different experience. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody brings something different to the table. And that's just the fact.
I'm making that synonymous to the information. I'm making different things at the cookout synonymous to the information. Everybody has to bring something different. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
And we all learn from each other. We bring all that information together and maybe we can get the truth.
Exactly. We have all the answers collectively. That's what I'm trying to say.
And all we have to do is just bring them together. That's it.
Bring them together. That's all that is. I can't come and say, okay, I have all the answers with the little bit I have. No. Brother, bring some more information.
I just know a little bit about a little bit. That's it. I just know a little bit about a little bit. And I can bring my little bit to the party and get a little bit from this person, a little bit from that person, a little bit from there, and a little bit and a little bit, a little bit. By the time I leave, I got a whole truth.
Exactly. All of us collectively not necessarily have all the answers, but we have more answers. And that's what we need. We need to have more answers. Peace to the brother Warfare K. Thank you for coming up, good brother.
Peace to you, the enemy's public.
Mike check.
Peace, brother.
Check.
Salute to you, brother.
Yeah, man. Realize TV. Shout out to you too, G.
You can tap in, brother, if you like to.
Hey, I'm not. I'm here to support G because you writing exact. Mic check. Is my mic working?
Loud and clear.
Okay, good.
You all good, brother.
Good. Yeah, I just want to come support mainly because, the enemy's public. I've been subscribed for a little second now, and I think I said this before, but I like how you give it up. You feel me? And this topic that you on, you writing exact. You know what I mean? We it's something like a cookout. Everybody got to bring something that they good with, you know, and to the analogy that you was making, if everybody brought potato salad, you know, that's like the barbecue contest. We trying to compete with one another. You know, we got that already.
That's a fact. That's
You
a
feel me? We got
fact.
that now. We got
Good
the
shit, bro.
barbecue.
Hey, yeah,
Okay,
you on that? Yeah, you on
you
that, man.
feel me? And so that's, you know, I like that analogy, and I was like, yeah, that brother spitting. You feel me? So yeah, I just wanted to, you know, come support the bill. I ain't got nothing to detract from it or nothing special to add to it. You know, at the moment, but yeah, I like where you're going with it right now, G. So shout out to you, man, and everybody in the chat. You already know, Warriors in here.
Hey, brother Nasir, yeah, man, I appreciate you letting us come up to build on this, man. So,
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
just
Yes,
to
sir. I appreciate
piggyback off the
you.
brother, man, I appreciate it. Thanks, facts.
Honor and respect, salute to Rachel Taylor. She dropped off. Okay, but thanks for coming up. But yeah, brother, we do so much less with a lot more than our predecessors have done. With all we have as far as information, you know, all we do is come up and we give the information, and it turns into a contest of intellectually sparring. And a lot of times when I go on platforms or I'm listening to platforms, I'm there to get what the brothers and sisters have to offer, and just try to, you know, perhaps apply it to myself, because I don't nowhere near claim to know everything. You know, that would be foolish to suggest. You know, I'm here to learn. Even when I'm on my platform, if somebody can come up and offer something new, innovative, and different that I can take and apply to myself, then you know, I strongly welcome it. Again, welcome Rachel Taylor to the Rochelle Taylor
Peace,
to the
sister. Peace,
platform.
peace.
Peace. Mic check.
I think she might be muted. You gotta unmute yourself, sister.
You gotta unmute yourself. You're muted. We have to.
I think I heard her voice. You there,
Yeah,
sister?
you got it.
How you do?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you this evening?
Yeah.
You know, the question is, why do we do so much less with more? And dealing with the know-it-alls.
For one,
Your mic is sounding choppy.
Oh yeah, she's definitely borging up.
On the Jets defensive side, 15, included a pair of master calls.
You sound very choppy if you're speaking. You may want to drop back down and come back up, because right now you're sounding choppy. You sound like, you know.
Yeah, she deep underwater. Yeah, she deep underwater.
Yeah, you sound very choppy. Yeah, but we are a people who know how to get together. We always have come together. In the past, we came together with common goals. Again, some of the methodologies I don't rock with. I don't, you know, agree with not fighting back those who aggress you violently. I don't believe in that. I believe in nonviolence until you touch me. And then that's a different situation. Once there's no talking once somebody put their hands on somebody.
Hey,
That's
brother
what
Nasir, can I ask you something when you say that, right? And I'm not trying to be funny about this, but have we not been touched? Have we not been beat the fuck up? Have we not been fucked up, stepped on, and all that stuff? Because I feel like we have. You know?
I mean, yes, that goes without saying all the way to this day. You know, all the way to this day, because you know, a lot of us think that we could we could sing our way out of from all the madness. A lot of us think that but yeah, we can't sing our way out of madness. You can ask somebody to stop doing something to you, but you know, it comes a time when you got to stop them from doing it
Nah,
yourself.
man, you can't ask nobody to
But
do
listen,
nothing. You
listen,
gotta do
listen,
that
listen,
one.
brother. Listen, just listen to what I'm saying. I said it comes a time when you gotta make a person know that they can't do a certain thing to you. We've been asking for far too long. It comes a time when you gotta say, look, it's just like if a person punch you, you gotta hit them back so fast that they might as well hit themselves. That fast. Peace to my brother Keith West. Thanks for coming up, brother.
I agree. I agree. Peace,
Peace,
Keith.
peace and respect, my brother Nasir, Any Public, Warfare K, Big Dog Philly OG, everybody. There's so many great brothers and sisters in the chat and on the panel. I'm just going to say this: that analogy about the cookout is like similar to what I say about a buffet. You know, you go up there and you get what you want from it,
Exactly.
and after you get what you want from it, then you sit back at your table. Some people get up there and they try to take the whole damn buffet. Well, good luck trying to walk to your table with like 4 or 5 plates on your arm. The thing about that is people, they get on these panels and they argue, they debate. Information is good, but you have to take what works for you. And a lot of times people get it mixed up because they say, well, you can't be about self. No, you have to have knowledge of self. You know what I mean? When you have knowledge of self, you will know what you're capable of and what your abilities are. Therefore, you can help others bring that out of them.
Exactly.
You know, and me, I drew more inspiration from Malcolm X than I did Martin Luther King, but that doesn't mean that I don't gain any value from Martin Luther King. You know, you got to know how to get in between both of those brothers and play the middle and understand there's a Malcolm and there's a Martin in all of us. You
Exactly.
know what I mean? So, but that's my whole spill on that situation. You know, you have to be able to get the information for yourself and find that understanding or understanding of yourself. Then you can teach other brothers and sisters to do the same thing. Now you got a tribe, you got a community of people who are on the same key note. You know what I mean? So, but that's what I want to come on and just say. You know, I'm usually in the chat, like everybody say, keep never get on that panel because I'm always in the chat just trying to take in information. You know, but I had to get on. I had to get on and let you know, Brother Nasir, just like I tell McCoy and I tell Big Dog and Warfare K, I love it when you brothers come together. Yeah, we argue, we feud, we have our misunderstandings. But when we can come together and we can talk to each other and communicate, this is what technology is supposed to do for us. You know, they did it and they didn't have the stuff that we have. I'm in Pittsburgh, you're in Jersey, and this person's in Philly, and look what we're doing. Back then they
Exactly.
didn't have that. You know, but that's my little spill on that one. I'm gonna hop back down there in the chat room. Peace and respect, everybody.
Yeah, my brother Keith is always supportive. I
Peace and
appreciate
respect, brother.
whether I'm doing music or if I'm speaking. My brother supportive. That right there is greatly appreciated. And salute to you, brother. Yeah, but that's the question. Why do we do so much less with more?
Hey, can I take a crack at answering that?
Yes, sir.
I think about a quote that I learned. Hard times create strong men. Good times create weak men. I think that the video that you got on the screen right now and the times that they was living in, you know what I mean, it was a lot realer, quote unquote, for them, during that time than it is right now, man. They really had to get out there and, take every little bit that they had. They just coming up out of Jim Crow and, the system is new to them and they are playing their hand. They are looking at it like with the intent of winning.
Yes.
And using everything that they have available to them. And so when we look back on them and critique them and say, boule, agent, sellout, confused, or whatever the various adjectives may be, I'm for me, it bothers me because we're living and reaping the benefits of the work that they put in.
Say it louder, brother.
You know, so it seems to be an unfair critique because, like you just said, like the question is, which I'm about to get back to, is we have more than they did, right?
Yes. Yes, sir.
We got more freedom, more opportunity, more tools at our disposal to use than they did. And we do so much less because of that's the crux of the conversation. Because of them.
Actions speak louder than words. That's a fact. Hey, Big Dog Philly OG, I see you. Yeah, that's a fact. Actions speak louder than words. We gotta get out here.
Big fact.
Instead of just thinking about it, we gotta do it. We gotta do it, bro. And I try every day, man. So keep doing, brother. You cooking.
Nah, it's all good, Jay. We build it, man. Just add on. Yeah, we build it. So yeah, I think we're doing less with more, just to wrap up and land, because I am kind of long-winded myself. So I think we do less with more because times is good. We got the freedom to, decide whether we want to participate or not. Because the problems are so far from us in our perspective. You feel me? It don't hit close to home like it used to back then, because the whole community was home back then. Now home is just inside your house. You feel me? And and it's a big difference. So yeah, I just think the advantages that we have made us soft, and we lost the warrior spirit. We don't want to fight no more. We just want to sit back. We're comfortable with what we got, and we think it will be too. There's too much risk involved in trying to get a little more, because we just can't see no way we could win or possibly move the ball forward. So shit, we want to chill. That's what I think.
You're
okay.
You're
My bad. Go ahead.
You're right on point. Real quick, before then you can take it, brother. Realize, and we also, brother, we take for granted what those who came before us did. We take that for granted, and it's ungrateful. Also, a lot of us are ungrateful. I was living at that time, back in that time. Okay. Yet, I was 3 years old when Dr. King was assassinated. I was 3. Yet, practically a baby, but I've always was taught to respect those who stood and acted on our behalf, because our times is not as hard as their times, as you so beautifully pointed out, Warfare K. And a lot of us, we're so complacent on how we're living now that we don't know what a damn fight is. Don't know what a fight is. And we don't know how to fight because we never fought on that level. Rachel, you're twice. Go ahead, brother. Realize.
The truth of the matter is, and this ain't no feeling. This ain't just no thought. This is the truth. And this come from my spirit. This come from my soul. We forgot what a village is.
Indeed. Real quick, brother.
Let that settle. Go ahead. You got it.
I want the sister to tap in. I don't want her thinking to go discredited because she's up here with us.
Sister, go ahead and speak.
Hear, what she had to say. Sister, was that Rachel or Rochelle? Rachel Taylor,
Yeah, I like how you say my name both times. Can you hear me?
Mic check.
Yes, sister. You loud and clear.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you loud and clear.
Oh.
I can't hear the sister. She's unmuted now. Mic check. Mic check.
Hey,
I hear you now.
I listed my number in the back chat, but I'm just trying to be all about. To answer your question earlier, I was just saying about, I don't think so much the men are per se soft. Some of them are, but some are real strong. But I think it's a lot of distraction going on. That's what part of the issue is.
I didn't
Yeah,
quite.
shit's not coming through clear at all.
I didn't quite get all of that. I didn't.
I think that there's a lot of distraction going on, of course.
Okay, I heard that. Can you elaborate?
Yeah, I mean, we have different fellas, different ladies, and they're strong pointed, yeah, but there's a lot of distraction, and there's certain things that certain people really gotta put their attention to, but they're distracted. Yeah, I mean, that's a whole set of people there.
To elaborate on the distractions, they were always distractions. When we attempt to do something and move forward and serve to the benefit of our people, they always use weapons of mass distraction. The propaganda machine, the media. We are, that we always fall a victim to that because we would go to social media to call ourselves doing research, and they know we're looking for information. So some information is planted. They'll plant information on some of us, especially when some of our motives of looking for information. We may look for something incriminating about each other, and then they'll see our vulnerability as a community, and they'll plant information, giving all of us any excuse to not support each other. That information, that information up top, you have to scroll down further and further and further and further and further if you're going to call yourself researching. If you're not doing it repetitively for searching, you're not researching, you're just searching. You got to search until you get your eureka moment. A lot of us think we get our eureka moment with the first thing we click on. And then we'll go out teaching that, not even understanding that we are teaching something that's a falsehood. And some of us would rather believe the worst of each other instead of looking for the truth about a brother or a sister. We see a lot of our behavior causes us to move one step forward and two steps back. Again, like I said, it's not progress. If you got one step forward, two steps back, you are further back than you are forward. And that's problematic. We do a lot less with more. And yet we have the audacity to get up on platforms and talk about those who did the least bit. If you've done nothing, you can't talk about the person who did the least bit. You shouldn't anyway. But a lot of us had the audacity. We'll say, well, everybody we mention is COINTELPRO as far as a lot of us is concerned. And I don't rock with that shit. Everybody's COINTELPRO or Agent Boule. Everybody's that. As far as some of us concerned.
Man, that point that right there, everybody's an agent, man. Just because of the knowledge that we got now. Because we're able to have, hindsight when for them it was real time. And so the decision they made was based on what they was dealing with. But now we look at it and we can say, man, them niggas, man, that's crazy, dude.
And it's crazy.
Hold on, can I say something real quick though? But think about this though. We have the knowledge now, so we don't have to let those agents corrupt our systems. You know what I'm saying? So
what I'm saying
hold on, no, I get what you're coming from. Just let me get this off just real quick.
Go ahead.
What I'm saying is that in my own thought process, the fact that we have the knowledge and we know what to look for, I don't think we should look down on it. I think we should be very strong in that and understand that these motherfuckers is out here and be able to see them and point them out. I don't think it's a bad thing for us to notice when there's an agent around us. You know what I'm saying? We can call it whatever word you want to call it, but there's infiltrators, man. There's always been infiltrators, and we're smarter now, and we see that shit. So why not call it out? Why not say nothing? When we see it, like even if they not if they're having that type of behavior, we should call it out. So I'm gonna let that land right there. But that's real. I mean, I feel like if we see it, if we understand it, we should say something about it.
I agree with that. Yeah, you know, a lot of our people, they misuse the words. They hear the words and they misuse the words and they indict everybody. They'll, you know, to call somebody an agent is a heavy indictment. It's a heavy indictment to put on somebody without any evidence because of something, you know, using a word that you don't understand. That's a heavy indictment. And some of these brothers and sisters have, you know, they have walked into imminent danger. Imminent danger. Imminent danger is you know that you can be killed and you go out there anyway. How many of us would do that? How many of these Negroes talking that crap would go into imminent danger knowing they can get killed? Not a lot
But
of
what
them.
if you had to? But no, what if you had to though? What if there was no other option?
No.
Because I feel.
That's what I'm
Oh, my
saying.
bad. Go ahead.
I mean, how many of them will do it? How many of them would do it, go out into imminent danger, knowing that they could be killed and they go out anyway? Dr. King was almost killed in several states. Florida, he was almost killed the first time he went to Memphis, but he went back and stood on the balcony. He went back and stood on the balcony, had threatening calls in the whole nine. Even Malcolm X, he walked out to danger. He went so much he knew what's gonna happen that he said, "Don't search." That's not using the wisdom that you was given. He said, "Don't search." And he walked out there to imminent danger, knowing that he could be killed after he had all those death threats. He walked out to imminent danger. So many of our brothers and sisters walked out to imminent danger, knowing they can be murdered, and they went out there anyway. How many of us can honestly say they would do that?
Can I be respectful about this real quick? We got to hold our own nuts. It's time for us to hold our own nuts and stand up. That's what they fucking fought for. That's what they fought for. It's time for us to stand up and do the same thing. Not no marching shit or whatever. It might be a different time, but they laid the ground for us to step out and do what we need to do and step into our place. Alain.
Salute to the mentioned gander. King Genocide. Salute. Thanks for coming through. But that's not a coward. Anybody that would do that's not a coward. You can't call them a coward. I would say that they are delusional to me because I don't believe in not fighting back. All I can promise you is I won't start it. That's all I promise you.
Any way possible, Jay. We fight back on all front. Anything, you know what I mean? Ain't too like a use. Any type of way I can give some pushback.
Exactly.
Every is important, man.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
You know what my dad told me when I was young, I was like 14. My dad told me make him uncomfortable. I'll never forget that. I remember coming home from school and telling him, rip a little motherfucker. He said, "Hey, make him uncomfortable. You ain't gotta beat everybody up. Just make him uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable."
What we have, I mean, it says a lot about what we have versus what they have. And they did the best with the knowledge that they had back then. And with all we have as information, all we do is intellectually spar. We spar all the time. We go back and forth with each other all the time. Which is, like I said, those minds that be on these platforms can go into some of these colleges and just whip them with the truth. I don't care how intellectually a person come. The plain truth will beat that ass. The plain truth will beat any intellectual's ass. You can say it plain. Yeah, we rather, sound intelligent, but we're not equivalent when it comes to what we're doing. I'd rather be an articulate worker than an articulate speaker, because their articulate worker is going to sound good. I mean, their articulate speaker is going to sound good, but their articulate worker, while that person's speaking, they're going to be building literally. Now, you just imagine. You have people with meager education. I'm going to say it like this. Elijah Muhammad only went to the 4th grade, but he was able to teach Malcolm, Father Allah, Farrakhan, gave Kareem Abdul-Jabbar his name, Muhammad Ali his name. All these giants, a man with only a 3rd grade education taught them. Just imagine that. So that degree madness would be defeated by the plain truth. The plain truth. Just tell the truth. And have it in your heart to work on behalf of your people. Work. I don't care how articulate you speak, but when it comes time to putting in the work, we got brothers with talent, military experience, orating skills, knowing how to speak to people. Those people can serve as the diplomats that go and speak on behalf of our people. We have so much talent when it comes to our people. Yet we have to organize, strategize, and deputize, and realize that every part of the body is significant. Significant. Can you imagine, bro? As small as your pinky toe is, it'll mess your walk up if you lose it. As small as that is, it may seem insignificant, but lose it. See how your walk be. And any other small part, like your pinky, you can lose your pinky. You can lose, and you can lose, like I said, your pinky toe. And it'll mess your whole walk up. And your fist won't be the same either, Dr. Pinky, or your thumb.
You right exactly on that, Jay. I want to add this to it, right? I think why people can't see the value in, the pinky toe or the thumb, you know what I mean, or the pancreas, etc. You feel me? Because we really don't understand the difference between strategy and tactics.
Yes.
Now, in everyone's mind, we talk, about this, this broad, long-term plan where we're the winners, and we speak as if we already won. It's my land. I'm the king. I'm a god, etc. And and that's what we want to get to. So that's where the conversation of divorcing the system and separating from the various constructs of corporations and all of this, or just the revolutionary mindset in itself, just speaking to the long-term plan to win and just to have a level of power that that allows us to leverage that in the world where we ain't getting violated a certain way. But on the other hand, the tactics part of it, you feel me? That's what they are missing. They are forgetting that there are short-term challenges that you got to deal with. There are specific actions, specific maneuvers, various methods that you got to use today in order to reach that long-term strategic goal you made. And the tactics may change. The tactics will and must change based on whatever, what the various situations your people find themselves in at the moment, day by day, month by month, as various politicians pop up and, all of these other things happen around us. Our tactics may change because we got to do something different based on our position in the world. So we got to, work that out. But all the tactics lead us to the strategy that we're talking about. But bro, we need everybody in on it. And no one man, no one, the cook can't work out the medicine problems. You feel me? They can't heal. They, you know what I mean? They got to, you know, well, hell, plant-based. Don't get me there. That's another conversation. But I think you understand, you know, everybody got a job to do. And I need you to be able to do your job. And you need me to do mine, et cetera, so that the machine itself works properly and our tactics align with the strategy. And I don't believe we are being realistic with the tactics or the movements that we're making today to fulfill the goal or the mission that our conversational strategy is geared towards. I don't think we're being realistic about that, and we don't value one another's opinion, which brings us back to the cookout. You know what I mean? We don't value one another's opinion, and then the ability to align and say, all right, cool. Hey, I wouldn't do that, but you do that, cool. All right, now let's see. Is we going the same way at the end of the day? And if so, you know what I mean? What steps do we need to take to make sure what you got going on is working for you, is working for me, is working for everybody else? So it's a little more complex than we like to generally discuss, but you know what I mean? It's not above our head, and if we're serious about it, I think we definitely got the intelligence to be able to deal with it. I learned right there,
and that's why we call him Warfare K. Exactly why we call him that. I love that spill you just did, brother, and I appreciate it. I didn't want to go long, so the brothers could take time to close out. I didn't want this to be a long string. I just wanted to come through, ask the question, and I appreciate your brother's contribution to the stream and answering the questions. I appreciate that. So each one of you brothers can take 5 minutes to close out.
I don't want to take that much time. I just want to say that salute to you, Nasir. I appreciate you, brother. We do really love you. And we appreciate you for allowing us to have a voice to speak because there's a lot of shit that need to be talked about. There's a lot of things that need to be said, spoke on. So I really appreciate you for having having a platform where we can come and speak about these things. It really matters, you know. It matters more than you think. And I'll say this in closing, man. Remember the village, y'all. It
Indeed.
used to be a village. It used to be a village. Remember the village, y'all. It takes a village to raise a child, and we're raising our children, and then they don't have no village to go to. You know, just a bunch of fucking hoods. There's no villages no more. You know, and the hood used to be the village. You know, I was raised. I came up, was born in the '80s, and we had a village. You know, I couldn't go nowhere in my neighborhood, quote unquote, and not get in trouble if I did something stupid because it was a whole village. You know, it was Miss Linda, Miss Romero, Romero, the Mexican lady around the corner. You know, like we couldn't go nowhere and do no stupid stuff because there were people in the neighborhood, the men and the women, who they watched over us, man. And I feel like this on some real shit. How how do we go out here and not look out for the children? I don't give a damn if I only got one child. I literally have one child. He's about to be 16 next month. But on some real shit, all of these children are my children. They're all my children because I care about them all. And if we don't think that way, and if we're not trying to build a village, then I think that maybe, just maybe, we need to step back and rethink what we got going on. It's about coming back together and bringing the village back together. And I'll land right there. And I'm out. You got it.
Salute to you, brother. Thanks for coming through.
Yeah, I definitely don't need 5 minutes, man. I'm gonna just say, ain't nobody gonna fix these problems but us. Me, I couldn't speak from the Warriors, so I ain't for everybody. Diplomacy first. I do know how to, talk to people, like we got some sense. But I also understand, me from my own personal perspective, it's gonna take a little more than talk to deal with this, man. But we got to organize before we get to any of that, bro. We are not realistically prepared to, fight back in no type of way right now. To be honest, man, we got to be honest about where we at, man. We ain't there yet. So
exactly,
these type of conversations, hopefully the cream of the crop will rise to the mic. You feel me? And let yourself be heard. Make yourself be useful. Low key, the enemy's public. The way you running ahead. You might be, the foundation for the council where we can, have cooler heads prevail, man. It seems like, people come over here and they, they present their best self. So I don't know, man, but we definitely need more roundtables like this one, man. I like the way you give it up once again. And I'll see you on the next one. I'll be live a little bit later, like an hour and a half. I might do it at the top of the next hour if nothing's happening in the YouTube streets. But I'll definitely be through to support you again, my brother.
And likewise.
Yeah, man. To the next one.
One hand, wash the other, both wash the face, brother.
That's a fact.
Yes, sir. Salute to you. Peace. I want to thank all the family for coming through. My brother Keith West, Big Dog Filio G, King Genocide, the Michigander, Rashad TSL, Flat Motherfucking Power, Prophet Levi, Absolute Warrior, Brown's Flat Power God, The Realest McCoy. I want to thank, let me see, I know I got more. Rob Bourne, thanks for coming through. Thanks for my brother Keith Norfolk for coming through. Thanks for the brother Realize. Thanks to Lee Butts. Thanks to Larell One. Let me see more. I know we got more here. Of course, the brother Warfare K came up. Thanks for coming up, brother. I appreciate it. And if I missed you, don't charge it to my heart, charge it to my head. Because I don't see you up here. And I want to make sure everybody is counted before I sign off. This is your brother Nasir, and I try to give the most pertinent information and ask the questions so someone can come and give the information, because I don't claim to know half the answers, and collectively perhaps we can get all the answers. This is the Enemy's Public. I am Brother Nasir. Like, share, subscribe. Leave a comment in the comment section. Peace. A once gold-driven, ambitious Sapphire turns to the street life after the sudden death of her big brother Dre. Dre's best friend Devontae tries to honor his homeboy's last request of looking out for his baby sister. The rebellious Sapphire makes it very difficult for Devontae to carry out his promise. Author Angela King James presents Fire. Get it on Amazon, on paperback, or Kindle.
Yo, the enemy's public, I gotta keep my eyes open. Pay attention, stop walking around like you blindfolded. This not the World Cup, but Nasir be kicking knowledge. This the type of information you can never learn in college. It's time to fight back, it's no more trying to play it cool. We got interviews, podcasts, and got the latest news. So sit back and relax, we about to get it started. Earth is a canvas, and guess who's the con artist? They brainwashing us, the system corrupted. You are now rocking with the enemy's public. You are now rocking with the enemy's public. I said you are now rocking with the enemy's public. Hey.